Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to temper chocolate today to make it really crisp and shiny and smooth and to make it taste delicious. First thing is to melt your chocolate, and this is the best way to do it. It's called a bain-marie and it's a pan of hot water on a very low heat, a glass or stainless steel bowl on top. Make sure the water doesn't touch the bowl and make sure the water doesn't boil. Bring it to the simmer, turn it off and leave the chocolate in, stirring occasionally until it's completely melted and smooth. It's called full crystal melt. And it's where the chocolate, all the crystals, all the fats, all the sugars are completely melted and warm. You will need a palette knife, a scraper, and if you don't have one of these fancy chocolate scrapers, go to the DIY store and buy a wallpaper scraper. It does exactly the same thing. And you'll need one of these. This is a granite slab. Inexpensive, from lots and lots of online stores and high street. Now in here, I've got about 500 grams of chocolate. So 5 100-gram bars. I'm going to pour out just over 2/3 onto my slab. It won't go on the floor, I promise. Clean the edge. We need to spread the chocolate out to increase the surface area and mix it at the same time, because tempering means introducing hardening crystals into the chocolate. So we've warmed our chocolate up to 55 degrees centigrade, and you can check that with a digital thermometer. And now we're going to reduce the temperature on the slab to 27 degrees, which is when dark chocolate crystallizes and becomes a solid. So we spread it out to cool it, and then we're going to scrape it back in on our little slab. So we scrape it back in, and we keep doing this process until the chocolate cools down and starts to become really thick and it starts to crystallize. But you'll see it start to thicken as it cools. I'll do it a little bit slower so you can see that you don't have to go too quick. So clean your palette knife off and your scraper. Scrape in and off, in, off, in, off. And just keep that process going. And when it comes to the right temperature and it starts to thicken and solidify, we need to scrape it off the slab and put it back into the remaining chocolate in the bowl. I'm going to move my slab forward, scrape the chocolate into the bowl. So we've got the chocolate from the slab, which is 27 degrees, mixing into the chocolate in the bowl, which was about 55 degrees. And that will stop that chocolate setting solid, and it will cool the chocolate down and create what's called tempered chocolate, which is when it's shiny and crisp and smooth. And now you need to mix a lot. We now need to check if it's tempered. And the way to do that is to take a palette knife, dip it in the chocolate, and let the palette knife sit. And the chocolate on the end of the palette knife should set within 2 or 3 minutes. When you look at it, it's got a satin sheen to it. It's smooth. There are a few air bubbles, but that's fine. There's no streaks, there's no graininess, which means your chocolate is tempered. So now you know how to temper chocolate on a slab. This method is for smaller amounts of chocolate, and it's called seeding. So you have your chocolate melted in the bowl to about 55 degrees, exactly the same as before, on a pan of hot water. Don't let the hot water simmer, don't let the bowl touch the hot water. Melt your chocolate till it's really smooth, no lumps. And instead of tipping chocolate out of the bowl onto the slab, we're going to put some solid chocolate, so just some pieces of chocolate. These are little oval shapes, but if you've got a bar of chocolate, break it up. We're going to pour this, about 2/3, back into the chocolate. So this goes in, and you, noisy bowl, we'll put it to the side, and you stir. So all the chocolate in here is going to cool down with the solid chocolate melting. And as it cools down, those hardening crystals will be built up by that solid chocolate melting. And it's as simple as that, but you need to mix a lot. There's a lot more mixing with this method. It's nearly melted. There are still a few lumps, but you just keep mixing until all those lumps are gone. And then we'll dip the palette knife in, and it should be tempered. If it's not, keep mixing. If it feels really hot, add some more chocolate till it cools down. But this is all about mixing. And once it's tempered, we can use it to make stuff. So it's all mixed, there are no lumps left, and we do the same thing, palette knife in, tap, leave it on the side, 2 or 3 minutes. If that sets across with that beautiful satin sheen, you're ready to use your chocolate. So now you know how to temper chocolate, seeding and slab tempering. Subscribe to my channel for loads more chocolate recipes and techniques, because there is no end to what you can achieve. Now you know how to do this.